Mars, the red planet. From a distance, it appears still, a silent desert suspended in time. Its mountains do not tremble. Its rivers have long since dried. Its winds carry dust, not rain. And yet, beneath that cold exterior, something moves. Not always, not everywhere, but in a very specific place and at a very specific time. The southern pole of Mars, just as the long winter fades into spring. There, the ground stirs. The frost shifts, and then it explodes. These are not earthquakes, not volcanic eruptions, but eruptions nonetheless, strange, violent, and utterly Martian. Jet-like bursts of gas shoot from beneath the surface, carving intricate spiderweb channels in the ice and scattering dark dust across the polar plains. They appear like fans, streaks, spiders, alien graffiti, etched by a force we barely understand. These are what we call Martian geysers, and they may hold the key to one of the most tantalizing questions in modern planetary science. Could there be liquid water beneath the surface of Mars right now? To understand the implications, we must first understand the process. Every Martian year, about 687 Earth days, winter descends upon Mars's south pole. Temperatures plummet below -120 degrees Celsius. Carbon dioxide from the thin Martian atmosphere begins to freeze out, forming a translucent sheet of CO2 ice over the ground. In some areas, this ice grows up to a meter thick. But as spring returns and sunlight begins to strike the polar surface, something strange happens. The CO2 ice isn't opaque, it's slightly transparent. Sunlight passes through and heats the ground beneath the ice. That heat causes some of the CO2 at the bottom of the ice layer to sublimate, turning directly from solid to gas. But the gas has nowhere to go. It's trapped beneath the ice. Pressure builds and builds until eventually, boom, the ice bursts and CO2 gas explodes upward, launching dust and sand high into the thin Martian sky. These aren't gentle leaks. These are violent jets, erupting with surprising force, enough to leave behind unmistakable dark streaks on the surface, visible from orbit. And the surface underneath? It doesn't just crack, it carves. These jets etch out beautiful, radial, spider-like channels in the terrain. Scientists call them araneoforms, from the Latin aranea, meaning spider. We've seen them before, not on Earth, but only on Mars. At first glance, these geysers seem like a uniquely Martian oddity, dramatic but isolated. An effect of seasonal CO2 ice, sunlight, and pressure. Fascinating, yes, but not necessarily important in the search for water. But that view is changing, because when scientists started looking closer, especially with data from NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, the geyser regions revealed unexpected clues. Some of the dark material ejected in the geysers contained hydrated minerals, substances that require liquid water to form. In some places, the flow patterns left behind weren't consistent with dry dust. They looked more like wet flows, as if something sticky or slightly liquid had mixed with the material before being blasted outward. And perhaps most compelling of all, recent radar data from orbit has shown reflective signatures beneath the polar cap that could indicate the presence of liquid water lakes trapped under layers of ice. So now the question becomes, are the geysers tapping into more than just carbon dioxide? Are they reaching briny, liquid water pockets just beneath the ice? If this seems far-fetched, consider Earth. In Antarctica, under kilometers of ice, lies Lake Vostok, a liquid body of water that hasn't seen the sky in millions of years. It remains unfrozen not because the air is warm, but because geothermal heat from below and pressure from above keeps it in a liquid state. Could something similar be happening on Mars? It's unlikely that the planet is geologically dead. Evidence from seismic instruments on recent landers shows that Mars still rumbles. Its interior may be quiet, but not silent. Even a small amount of heat, combined with the right salts, could keep water in a liquid form beneath the surface, even in the deep cold of the Martian poles. And if that water is there, seeping slowly through cracks, pressurizing under ice, or even venting through geyser systems, we might already be seeing its fingerprints. Why briny water? Because salts lower the freezing point of water. On Earth, salt prevents roads from icing over in winter. On Mars, perchlorates and sulfates may play a similar role. Experiments in Martian simulation chambers show that water with high perchlorate concentrations can stay liquid at temperatures below -70 degrees Celsius. That's crucial, because it means that even in the harshest Martian conditions, small pockets of liquid water could persist, hidden just below the surface. And those geysers? They may be more than CO2 eruptions. They could be the occasional rupture of a fragile, pressurized system, one that taps into liquid reservoirs of salty water trapped beneath the ice. We don't know for sure, but we're getting closer. And now, the bigger question: if there's water, could there be life? Not life as we know it, not forests or fish, but microbes. Hardy, tenacious, microbial life. On Earth, microorganisms have been found in Antarctic lakes, deep subsurface rock, and toxic brine pools where temperatures and pressures would kill most life. Some of these life forms even use CO2 and chemical energy, rather than sunlight, to survive. If Mars has similar environments, underground, salty, dark, and occasionally erupting, it might have the ingredients and stability needed to support life. The geysers, then, would be more than geological. They would be biological windows, natural vents that expose the deep Martian underworld to the sky. Each eruption could carry biosignatures, organic compounds, molecular structures, or isotopic ratios, up and out, where a future lander or drone might detect them. It would be a chance discovery, but it wouldn't be the first time life revealed itself in an unexpected place. So what do we do with this knowledge? Right now, there are no missions directly targeting the geyser regions. The terrain is dangerous, icy, remote, prone to explosive events. But that may change. Imagine a lander capable of surviving a Martian winter, then waking up in spring to record a geyser eruption in real time. Or a glider drone that soars above the South Pole, scouting for new dark fans and taking samples of ejected dust. Or a robotic mole, like the one once designed for InSight, that burrows beneath the CO2 ice, seeking brine, pressure changes, or heat signatures. These ideas aren't far-fetched anymore. The geysers are known, their locations mapped, their seasons predictable. All that's left is to go. For centuries, we looked at Mars and thought it was dead, a silent witness to its own history. But these geysers tell us something else. Mars is not dead. It is seasonal. It is changing. It is still governed by invisible forces and hidden flows. It has pressure, heat, chemistry, and perhaps, just perhaps, it has liquid water today. And wherever there is water, even if it hides in shadows, even if it only escapes for a moment, we must ask, is something alive down there?